patrons for fuel. Okay, so this is a quote from him. He says, "Because it was around the festivities, we were told they had exhausted their fuel. A communication went to the hospital that they didn't have enough fuel. Therefore, they will need 600 Ghana cedis support for fuel. According to the crew, they were assured that they could move because the hospital was going to arrange either directly or indirectly with the family of the patient to get the fuel support. So the impression was that the husband of the patient was going to provide that support. So they left the hospital with the understanding that they would pick the husband who was going to provide the fuel support. They arrived at the point of picking up the patient's husband and they discovered he didn't have the money for the fuel." This, he says, is what caused the delay, which eventually resulted in her death.
It's not disheartening. I mean, I've said this here that whenever emergency system is put to the test, the underbelly of a very terrible society is exposed. That we don't put money where it's important, that we do not invest well enough, and we failed this woman, her family. The only wrong she did was being Ghanaian. That's the difference here. It's not as if, and there are standards that we all know we should follow. The idea of it being an emergency is that the tendency that you'll be able to raise the money immediately is not there, and that lies first. Even if you have to raise money, lives first. And that if you cannot protect the life, what's the point in getting the money? And if this society we are built nicely for ourselves cannot do the basic things, cannot guarantee that when oil is failing you, we would intervene and make sure we transport you to where you will get life-saving chance, where you'll be able to fight very hard and where your chances of survival will be improved. If we cannot do the small things, sometimes you should just do some introspection and ask ourselves whether we indeed are a society that's progressing, or whether we are part of the progressive societies in this century, whether we delude and convince ourselves that we are still, in fact, forget about the number of ambulances available. Even when we said they were now available, we have 275 extra of them. How on earth is it possible that at the point that you needed to save life, more importantly, that's the point that we are asking that family for money and leading to delays? Because the idea is that with the ambulance are supposed to cut back the time, and we do not have the places where they have aircraft to come and pick up people and reduce the time frame by a very considerable number. But we don't have those systems. But the system that's supposed to reduce the time and give me a fighting chance, that system is also delaying because I cannot pay money immediately.
Now, so what are we telling the people of Ghana?
Yeah.
That if you have an emergency, the ambulance expected to transport you to the next facility.
Yeah.
If you do not have money,
Yeah.
you will die.
Yeah.
Is that what we are saying?
Yeah.
That before we move, we would ask the question,
Can you pay?
can you pay? Before we take you to the next facility to seek treatment.
Please imagine.
I mean, is that what we're saying? So what was this whole razzmatazz
the person had
about?
no family around.
Exactly,
So
about
what
the
will you
provision
do?
of
Yes,
ambulance.
yes. The person who is almost dying, that person has no family around. What will you do? Will you just say that since you don't have family, we leave you to die?
That's the question. Because we say that we are improving our healthcare delivery so that nobody would have to die when the person can actually survive or live. Now, if we have a situation where the ambulance service says standard practice is that when you need an ambulance to the next facility, you must provide fuel. What sort of a country do we find ourselves in?
Then what makes it an emergency intervention in the first
Exactly.
place?
This is a very depressing story. But you know, the parliament is looking into it.
Yeah.
So instead of even focusing on the specifics of that particular story, I am concerned about the bigger problem, and it is a bigger problem.
That's
okay, look, these ambulances that we've now bought and are so proud of, we bought them out of a fund that was supposed to provide $1 million for every constituency every year. Okay, if the first 2 years there was nothing, in the third year we bought ambulances, which each cost 300 and something thousand at most. Where's the rest of the money? Why is the ambulance service still struggling for money to buy fuel when we are providing free fuel for politicians?
Yeah.
We are
Those who
providing
don't need
free.
it.
We are providing free fuel for ministers, for CEOs, people who are already earning enough to pay for their own fuel, but the ambulance service can't get fuel. You see, we are living in an upside down republic. Where are our priorities? What are we thinking? Who should be benefiting from the things that the government provides for free? Who should be benefiting? Is it the people or the government? Is it the politicians or the people?
I bet you this pay for it will never happen to a politician.
Imagine that.
Yeah, no, never say so.
Why are we even giving them free fuel? Yeah. Why? How can ambulance service not have fuel, but politicians get fuel free all the time, on time, no delay? It's embarrassing. Let's find out what's in the papers. Okay, let's move on from this. We'll probably touch on it a bit later. News review is brought to us by Milo Energy to go further. Enterprise Life's Family Income Security Plan, Enterprise Your Advantage, and First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different.
Now, the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning, state loses 27 billion to tax exemptions. Finance Minister confirms in Parliament, 27 billion Ghana cedis will lose it to tax exemption. And how much were we trying to raise through e-levy?
Or 6.9 billion.
Oh,
The
okay. The
27
original
billion
one
is from 2008.
Yeah.
So every year 2 billion.
2 billion.
2.2 billion.
But when we cap the back, if we take half of it off,
yes, I mean, that's something we've talked about all the time, that if we stop these unnecessary tax exemptions, we'll be in a better place.
How much do we want from the IMF?
I mean, there are talks of 1.5 billion to 2.5 billion dollars. So that's about, you're looking at 12 to 16 billion Ghana cedis.
And our exemptions could pay that perhaps twice.
Yes, over a 14-year period.
Yeah. Now, National Service holds first visitation day, and there's one about weak parliament, woes of country. Speaker insists on strengthening the oversight responsibility of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. And in that interview, Speaker Babin is on the front page of the Daily Graphic, and the back page, collaboration key to curb accidents. Road Safety Authority is the one saying so, and the Advertising Association of Ghana has signed an MOU with Brand Africa to champion the growth of brands inspired by Africa and contribute to the continent's positive image. That's also at the back page of the Daily Graphic.
Now, the chronicle for this morning, Proverbs chapter 17, verse 25. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. I'll take it again. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. And the big one here says, Asanko tutor allegedly rapes female student during birthday bash. And the story says that the Asankragua Magistrate Court in the Western Region has remanded 2 teachers of Asankragua Senior High School into police custody for allegedly raping a female student and indecent assault, respectively. So while Ernest Donko has been charged for raping his victim, aged 16 years, and contrary to Section 97 of the Criminal Offences Act, Augustine Swansea Odro on his part has been charged with indecent assault, contrary to Section 103 of the Criminal Offences Act. Still on the front page, Mahama Pounds EC says it's planned to manipulation, and Methodist Church targets 1.4 million membership by 2028. That's my church.
Say our church. No, I'm not part of it. Say
Kutu Yankson. I want him to say it himself.
Yeah.
What's that?
But no, Kutu Yankson's membership is on his behalf by his mother, so clearly.
Okay. I was
We're talking
accepted.
about membership of the Methodist Church.
Oh, my mother is kind enough to pay dues for me, but
Brilliant.
I
Dues.
have a yes. I am.
The church, they pay dues.
He is opposed to organized
for certain
religion.
membership for certain.
He is opposed
memberships.
to organized religion.
No, I'm not. It's just that I have an ongoing question with the leader of our church in Ghana. I'm waiting for him to help me understand the tithes that they are collecting. Where in the Bible it says that they should do that. They should do it that way. So I'm awaiting the answer. Once I get an answer, then maybe
It's very possible they can remove your name from the church books.
I think it's within their right to do so.
My name got into the
As it is
church
within
book.
my right.
Yeah.
to
You want to
pay tithes.
maintain yours.
Oh, I want to maintain mine.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So do you pay tithes?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Why not?
I pay it to those who need it.
The things that will take us to heaven.
No, I pay it to those who need it.
Oh, Okay, can we move on? This this church matter, you people are going to create. Well,
It's the only thing I agree with Kojo Yankson on.
yeah.
The only thing we agree on things all day long on this show, but this is the only one.
I agree with him on
Yeah.
that.
All right. So you're saying something else.
No, as it says, a corrupt judge is a danger to justice. That's President Akufo-Addo as he swore in some 10 justices of the High Court.
Now, the graphic business reporting government IMF negotiations seek support to develop human capital. Dr. Ankara speaks ahead of the National Youth Mentorship Summit. That's the president of the Africa Investment Group, Sam Ankara. Now, there is one more 67% export potential between Ghana, Burkina Faso is untapped. Africa, intra-Africa trade, we don't care about it. Anyway, banks ready to put money into capital projects in Africa. That's Tony Elumelu declaring at UBA Dubai opening. Those are the stories on the front page of the graphic business.
And the Ghanaian Times VIP launches e-pharmacy platform for public to access pharmaceutical services using mobile phones and computers. 35 perished, 207 injured in 4,065 fire outbreaks in last 6 months. And police grabbed 6 suspected highway robbers in Techiman. And spinal anesthesia procedure complication caused the death. That's woman's death in ambulance probe, according to Professor Zakaria. And back page, Ministry of Food and Agriculture lays fears of looming food shortage and work on 350 bed dormitory for Huni Valley SHS begins.
Can I read you a quote from the Vice President's speech yesterday when he launched the pharmacy? He said, and I quote, "They do not realize that through the Ghana card, we increased the proportion of Ghanaian adults with tins from 4% to 85%. They could not understand how a Ghana card certified by ICAO could be used as a travel document and mocked the idea. But today, it is a reality." Let's do the online review. Is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy.
And Goyle, your oil marketing company of choice, keeps making life so convenient for you. Goyle now accepts Momo for all fuel purchases at key selected stations. Just remember to Momo it at Goyle. And that's not all. You can also use your bank card to buy fuel at Goyle, and this is made possible by APSA. Drive to Goyle stations now, buy your fuel, pay by Momo or a bank card, and you're good to go. Visit Goyle social media platforms, Facebook, Goyle.official, Instagram, Goyle_GH, and on Twitter, Goyle_official for more information on the service stations. You can conveniently use Momo. Goyle Good Energy, Goyle. Yeah, dear.
All right, so NPP's executive balance necessary but not sufficient to break the 8. That's Dr. Seidu Alidu. Other stories on myjoyonline.com. Right now, though, it's time for the BBC News.
Brought to us by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of